Hello and welcome. Okay, this is I'm really excited about this. This is our first tutorial on the 90-day challenge, and it's so beautiful. Like um, the purpose, of this 90-day challenge is for us designers to build capacity, to practice, and become a better designer. Yes. So, like I explained on the welcome email. Um, I can explain on the welcome email. Sometimes we need a we need some push. We need a community. We need guidance or support group. We need people that are going on the same journey with us, so that we be able to keep on going and going and going and achieve our results. And that's why we, started this whole thing, the 90-day web design challenge. And trust me, at the end of the 90 day, you're going to look back at this moment. You're going to look back at today and be happy that you joined. Yes. So, welcome once again, and I'm very happy. I'm so happy that you decided to join us here. Thank you so much. All right. So, today's tutorial, this is the interface we're going to design, the Netflix hero section. We all love Netflix. Yes, and looking at this interface here is a simple interface. We have the background image, we have the Netflix logo, we have the sign up button, then we have the big headline followed by the paragraph, and then we have the call to action, which is a form, a sign up form where you put in your email, and then continue with the registration. So how do we design this? How do we replicate this design? Okay, we have to break down things that are happening here. You can see the Netflix logo is aligned to the left hand side, while the sign in button is aligned to the right hand side at the top. These are the header, right? And then we have the hero section with the background. Now, even though this is a simple layout, but it can be tricky. It can pose a challenge, a big challenge for beginners, because if you're not careful, you can't read the text on the top. So if you're not careful with how you place the background, the styling you give it, there won't be enough contrast. Contrast is very paramount. So let's just dive into it. So you see, instead of talking, um, you see how I'm going about that. Okay, so I'm using Elementor. You are not restricted to any certain tool, any certain design tool. You can use any tool that you're very comfortable with. Yes. If you're using Figma, that's great. If you're using Adobe XD, if you're still using it, fine. Webflow, if you're using Webflow, that's cool. If you're using a Framer, if you're using Bricks, Breakdance, even Gutenberg, anyone that you're using, Canva, Photoshop, Illustrator, any design tool that you feel this is your thing, this is what you're comfortable with, you can use it and still achieve the same layout. you know um, so right here I'm using Elementor, and Elementor is so cool, even though we have the other camp, the Bricks camp, yeah, and we have the other some other designer. Every designer have their own favorite, right? So we have people who say no Elementor, no, and then we have the other people on our own side say no, this one, no. See, you just have to figure out what is comfortable for you. Stick with it. Make sure you do great work with it. Yes. So how do we continue? Okay, now let's go back to the interface. All right. So here uh, we are going to design the header, and as you can see, I already have my header. The header on my website, and I don't want it to show. If you look here, there's the footer as well. I don't want the header and the footer to show, so that we'll be able to design this. So how do we go about that? We're going to click here, then scroll down to page layout and turn it to Elementor Canvas. Okay, update my settings. Okay, so here we go. All right, now the next thing, let's look at this again. Looking at this tells me there's a header with two columns. Yes, the first column is for the Netflix. Second column is for the sign up button. Yes, we can have two columns, or we can simply have one column. Yes, so let me demonstrate that. So here's a two column layout. So you see, I can add the logo here and then add the button here. Yes, but being that this is a very simple layout, I can still get away with it. I can still get away. I can still achieve the same layout using a one column. Yes. So before diving into this, let's actually download these images. The images, the logo, and all those stuffs. So let me download it so that I'm using this, wonderful, this nice extension here, browser extension. You can see it, image downloader. So I'm using it. You can see once I click it, it's going to show me all the images on this side, and then I can download the one and choose the one I want. So I want this one, and which is the background, and also the Netflix. Yeah, the Netflix logo. So I'll simply click download, then click on yes, download. Okay, so I'm going to save it on my download folder. Alright, so let's go back. Now here, let me add an image. Okay, so make sure the size, whenever you drop in an image, make sure the size is in full, the full width. Then click in here, let me upload my logo, the Netflix logo. Okay, so this is the logo, but it's too big, right? It's it's too big. So looking at this, you see how the size. So I'm going to reduce it. Go to style, maybe change this to pixel, yeah, and maybe use something like 160. Okay, which is nice. Then the alignment is aligned to the center on default, so I'm going to align it to the left hand side. Okay, then on the second column, I'm going to add a button. Yeah, so and the button says sign in, right? Sign in. Then I'm going to align it to the right hand side. Okay, then I need these two things to be centered, so I'm going to click on the container itself, the main container, and align items centered. You see, so I just achieved this layout using two columns, but we can still achieve it using a single column, which is actually a better way, because using a single column, what it will do is that it's going to reduce the code, the code that we are using, instead of using two columns, because using two columns it means more code will be written, in the back end. So but if we use a single column, a single container, then it's like we just reduce an extra column and an extra code that don't need to be there, which is very important. It's really good for optimizing, speed optimizations. Okay, so let me delete this and then use a single column. Alright, so I'm going to drop in the image again, change it to full width, then let me select okay, yeah, okay, so let me select the Netflix logo. Alright, so here we are again. So I'm going to change it, to 160 pixel, right? 160 pixel, 160, yeah. So now remember it's center aligned, so we have to align it to the left hand side. Okay, then the next thing is the button. So we drag the button and add. But now you see, when we add the button, it's now underneath the logo, right? It's underneath the logo. So what do we do? So what do we do on this? How do we align it to the side? We simply click on the main container again, then change the direction to row. Okay, align item center, and then the justified contents have to be spaced in between. And here we go. So we have the same layout again. All right. So now, okay. So now, we're going to add another container, and this container will be for this, the hero section, because we just designed the header. So this one will be for the hero section. Okay. So now I'm going to give this the minimum height of this container. I'm going to give it a VH of 100. VH means view height, the view height. So I'm going to make it view height of 100. Like full height. That's what that is. 100%. That's what it means. Full height. Okay. Maybe let me give it a a border color, so that at least you see what we're working on here. You can see it. All right. So now I'm going to add a header, center it, then I'm going to add a text, go to style and center it as well. Then I'm going to add a form, drop it, and this form only have the email, so I'm going to remove the name and the message, so we have the email. Okay, so now let me go to the main container again, because I want to center everything have to be centered. So go to layout, scroll down, align item have to be centered. No, not align, the justify item have to be centered. Okay, then let me look at this again. Okay, so let me copy out this guy here. Let me copy it, and here I'm going to paste it. Okay, copy this one out. Okay, and paste it. Okay, you can see right now things are not looking are not looking so good, right? But we're still going to fix that. So clicking on the header, on the the heading, so I'm going to give it a white color. Same thing with this. give it a white color. All right, then the form here, the email, if you click on the email, the column width, I'm going to make it 80%, I think so, I think around 80, yeah. And then make the button of the form, click on the button, so the column width, make it 20, yeah. So it becomes you can see it's now side by side, right? Okay, one more thing, I don't know if you look closely, you can see there's an email written here, email, which is the form label, right? So I'm going to open up the form field, then form label, remove that. Okay, and the input field, you have to make it bigger. Yes, make the input field bigger. Okay, so the next thing, we have all the elements we need here, I think. Okay, there's this guy here, let me copy it. Then I can right click on this paragraph and then click duplicate. Now paste what I copied. Oops. Paste what I copied here. Alright, so now is the moment we start to design. Okay, so let's look at what font are they using. You know, we have to ask what font are they using, and also what size of the font are they using. So there's this extension I have here, which is font finder. So once I click it, I can simply click on this and it's going to show me everything, you know, details about this piece of text, you know, like the color, the background, the font family. You can see the font family is Netflix Sans, yes, which is actually their own font. I don't know if it's listed in things like Google font, Adobe font, maybe. I don't know if it's listed there. I don't think so. So we are going to use a font that will look similar to it, which may be Roboto. You know, Roboto can look similar to it. And then the font size is 48 pixel. So let's go back here, click on this, go to the style, typography, and then on the font family, let me use Roboto. Okay, one other thing I failed to check is the font weight. So let's see what they have here. Okay, the font weight is 900. You see it? Font weight is 900 and the font size is 48 pixel. So the font weight 900. Okay, font size 48 pixel. Okay, I don't think this Roboto is looking exactly as this. Is it? But let's just maintain it. Yeah? Let's just maintain it. Okay, so then the next one is this guy. What font is this guy? So let's check. Alright, if you look at this is a 24 pixel font size. How about the weight? Font weight is the normal, 400 normal. So 24 pixel. Okay, going to click here, go to style, open up the typography, then search for Roboto again. Remember, we're using a Roboto, and then 24 pixel. And of course the font weight is normal, which is at 400, so we don't need to change anything here, or you can still change it to this if you want. Then let's look at the other one. This font here, let's scroll down. This is 20. font size, see, 20, and the font weight is normal as well. So click it, go to style, then change this to Roboto, and then the font size 20 pixel. Yeah. Okay, now if you look closely on these paragraphs, you can see there's a space, there's a padding at the bottom which we really didn't add, so we can remove it. How do we remove it? We go to advanced, open up the margin, then give it like a negative margin of maybe -30, -30, think how about -40? Yeah, I think -40 is good. So we do the same thing here, -40. Oops, I think this one is too much, so maybe -35. Yeah, let's also do the same thing here, -35. I think this -40 is good on this, and why it's acting up this way is because this one has a bigger size, a bigger font size. This is 24 pixel, while this one is 20 pixel, so that's why. Okay, so we have removed the unwanted spacing. Okay, then what next? What next? What do we? Let's start by styling up the sign up form. Start by styling it up. So let me look at this again. So we have email address inside, and then get started with an icon. And if you look, the email address, this thing looks kind of transparent, right? It feels as if it's transparent, it's see-through. You can see through it to the image. So remember that. So here on the form, the email, so the placeholder have to be email address. Okay, then on the button text have to be get started, and it has an icon. So you can see icon, going to add an icon. I think this is angle, or maybe you can use a chevron. Yeah, chevron. Okay, use this one here. Okay. Alright, but you can see where the icon is. The icon is in the front, but we want it to be, in the other side. So we're going to change it to after, and then maybe give it a little bit of space, like 8 pixel. Let's see. Okay, they gave it way more space here, so maybe something like 14 pixel. Yeah. Alright, then the next thing, we need the font size of the label here, right? The font size of this. So let me click it, click this, and let's see, 24 pixel font size. Okay, and the padding, 12 pixel, the padding of the button, 12 pixel at the top and bottom, and 24 pixel by the left and right hand side. And the font weight is 500, so take note of this. So we go back, so we go to the styling. Let's scroll down to the button. So the button, the typography, remember we have to change it to Roboto because we are working with Roboto here, right? And then the size is 24 pixel, font weight 500. Okay, then the button padding, let me go back to it again, and because I think I've forgotten. Okay, let's see. This is okay, 12 pixel and 24 pixel. All right, 12 pixel. I have to unlink this, then put 24 pixel here and 24 pixel there. Okay, so we're getting there gradually now. Okay, but you can see this thing is kind of being jumbled up. um, so probably we have to go back to the sizing we gave it. Maybe make this one 70. Yeah, make this one 70 and then make the button 30. Yes, so that it will fit in. Yeah, okay. Then of course the colors, the red is different from our own red. So how do we get the color? Okay, I have a color picker here. It's another extension. Please take note of these extensions because as a designer, these are things that you need in your browsers. It's going to make things very easy for you. So I have a color picker. You can see the name here, color picker eyedropper. So it's an extension, it's a browser extension. You can download it and then make use of it. So I'm going to use it and grab this color. Okay, so let me go back. So on the button, still on the button, okay, oh, I have to go to the style. Yes, then go to the button section and the background. You can see the background here, background color. So I'm going to paste in the color that I just copied. Okay, then on hover, when you hover on it, there's another color. I don't know if you pay attention, when I hover my mouse here, there's a darker shade of the color, right? And the only way you can get the darker shade of this color, the only way you can know exactly what darker shade, you can use any other darker shade of this color, but if you want to use exactly this the one they used, simply right click on it, then click inspect element. Alright, so here I'm going to change this to force the element to be on hover. So while on the hover, you can see the color here. So this is actually the color for the hover, you see. So let me turn it off again. All right, okay, so we have gotten the color of the hover. So here on the hover, background color, I'm going to add this. So you see, when I hover on it, it changes. Okay, then the next thing is this guy here, the email address field itself. So looking at that, we may not necessarily like have the color because this is a transparent color. So if you see, if we use this guy here, if we use the color picker, it's going to give us a range of colors. So how do we actually get to what they used exactly? Okay, we simply right click again, inspect element. But you can do it, you can figure it out using your eyes, you can mash it with your eyes, like you can in fact, let's do it with eyes before we come back to this, so you see what I mean. So looking at this, I already understood that this is a black color, but the black was kind of made transparent so that I can see through it, see through the black color. So I'm going to go back here, scroll up to the field. So the background currently is on white background, so I'm going to click it, make it black. So maybe you can use any range of the black, maybe this guy here. Now the next thing is I'm going to make it transparent, right? So I'm going to drag this, but we are not going to see it now because the image. We haven't added the image. So I think maybe let's just make it black for now and leave it. Later on we are going to come back to it. So black, and then the text color, yeah, we can grab this using this guy here. So the text color is white. Okay, so text color white. All right, so this is it. And what else? Let's look at it. I think we have to make this bigger. I have to make it somewhat bigger. So let's go back to content. On the medium, maybe make it large in this case. Ooh, now we're having some problems with this guy appearing this way. Okay, maybe go back to the button, make the button large as well. Where is it? Instead of small, make it large. Yeah. Okay, so now we're getting there. One more thing. In fact, let's add our background now so that we'll be seeing what we are working on. So clicking on the container, go to style, then this image on the background image, I'm going to click it. Now I'm going to upload my background image. Okay, so let me wait for it to upload. Okay, so it has finished uploading. Then I click select. All right. Okay, so I think we're getting there gradually. Okay, even though it's still a mess now. Okay, but at least we getting there gradually. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make this size. I'm going to change it to cover. It's important. Yes. Then position, make it center. Okay, the image size, of course, it have to be on the full size. All right, then the next thing is a background overlay, because sincerely, if you look at this whole thing, you see, you can't read the heading and the paragraph. You can't read them anymore, right? So we have to kind of create a contrast. So how do we create that contrast so that you can still read the text? So we go to background, excuse me. So we go to background overlay. So from here, let me use the gradient. Yes. So we're going to use the gradient and then give it a color. So maybe a dark color. Okay. Then this guy here, simply make it transparent, 100% transparent, and then let me look at this again. Okay. All right. Let me look at it. Okay, I think probably they are not using gradient here, but let me see if I can still use gradient to achieve this. So on the blend mode, no, on the type, instead of linear, I'm going to make it radial. Okay. First of all, let me bring this back so I know what I'm doing here. Oh, okay. So the color have to change. Instead of black being in here, black should be here. Yes, because I want black to be at the outside. I want black to be on the outside, while this guy here will take on a different color, right? So now just make it transparent. Okay, then this, bring it more. Oops. Nope. Okay, so looking at this, the gradient is not working. So we just have to use a solid color on it. Yeah, solid color. Put this to be, you know, change it, let it be black. Yeah, let it be black. And then the opacity. Yes, of course, we can make it darker and make it. So maybe somewhere around 0.6. Yeah, somewhere around 0.6. And then the blend mode, of course you can use blend mode, make it multiply. Yeah, okay, which is nice. Okay, so maybe let me reduce this to 0.5 instead of 0.6. Yeah, 0.5. Yeah, and it still look great. Okay, now there's another thing. If you look closely, you see the width of the form is kind of narrow, right? So whereby our own here, the width is kind of full width, which is not what we want. So I'm going to click on it, go to advanced, then the width. There are two ways you can approach this. Either use the width or use the padding. So using the width, custom width, make it let's say 50%. Okay, make it 50% this way. Now we're having some problems with this. Okay, so let's try out this guy. Change it to percentage. Put 30 here, 30 here. Okay, maybe probably 20 and 20. Still we're having some challenge on this. Okay, use 24, 24, and go back to the content. Maybe reduce it, instead of 70, reduce it to maybe 66, and then the button, instead of 30, make it 33. Okay, still not still not as it should. Okay, maybe make this 40. Yeah, 40, and then go back here and make this one 60. Okay, all right, so I think it's now, yeah. Okay, let's look at this again. Okay, all right, there's something else I noticed on this guy here. We have to check the padding they gave the email address field. So let me see the padding they gave it. Clicking on this, okay, so the padding is 24 pixel at the top and bottom, 16 pixel, no, 24 pixel at the top, 16 pixel at the bottom, then 8 pixel by the side. Okay, so let's also replicate it here. So we go to the style, scroll down to form field. On the form field, okay, the form field here doesn't give us an ability to change it, but let's update our changes. Remember, if you now want to change it, we have to go to the site settings. So click on the site settings, then go to the form. So here is the form field, scroll down, we already have 8 pixel by the side, so I'm going to add I think 24 pixel at the top and bottom. But right now it's not looking the same as this. Yeah, it's not looking the same as this. Maybe because of our own styling, own Elementor styling. Okay, see 24 pixel and 4 pixel. There's some kind of CSS and 16 pixel by the two side. Wait, I think I'm having the wrong one. Let's go to, yeah. So on the desktop, 24 pixel, 8 pixel, 16 pixel by the two side. Okay, there's a way they did their own, and they did it for an obvious reason, which is when you click, wait, let me open it. When you click on this, you know, it goes up. You can see the email address kind of goes up. There's this animation they gave there. So we are not going to go delve into that. So let's just replicate this, you know, like make it look the same as this in our own way. So how do we do that? Okay, so maybe use 12 pixel, 12 pixel and 16 pixel here and 16 pixel here. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, so it's looking similar to this. Yeah. Then let's update. Okay, so now I'm going out from there. I'm going out from the site settings and back into the page we're designing. Alright, so the next thing I want to tweak, I want to tweak the padding I gave to the button. Yes. So go to the button. Then I gave this padding here, maybe use 12 or probably 16. 16 by the side. 16, 16. Yeah. Okay, I think this is better. Okay. Then the next thing is the button at the top. Look at the button at the top. is not looking as we want it. So let's copy out, you know, from this button here. Let me copy out the colors. Remember, we already got in the colors, so I'll simply copy it out. Click on this one at the top. Go to style, background color. Okay. Then of course the text color have to be white. Okay, click on the form again. Go to the button, then go to hover so that we can get our hover color, right? Okay, click on this button here, go to the hover, button color on hover. Alright, paste it. Okay, so now we're going to change the text. The text says sign in. Alright, then the next thing we're going to look at the size of everything. So clicking on this, let's see. So right here we have a 14 pixel, and of course the font weight 500. The padding 4 pixel at the top and 16 pixel by the side. Okay, so let's go back. Go to style and the typography. Of course, we change it to Roboto because we're using a Roboto, right? Then 14 pixel font size, font weight 500. Then the padding 4 pixel top and bottom and 16 pixel left and right. Okay, so it's not looking exactly as it should. because they added a line height. Let's look at this again. You can see there's a line height they added to the topography. Where is it? So here is it, a line height of 14 pixel. So it means if we go to the topography again, scroll down to the line height, put 14 pixel there. It's still not giving us exactly that, but let me remove this. Instead of using that, maybe make it 12 at the top. 12. Okay, this is too much. Maybe 8. Oh no, not here, not here. At the bottom, 8, and then 8. Okay, let's see. Alright, so I think this is 10. So I'm using, kind of gauging it with my eyes. Now, alright, so this looks much like it. Okay, then let's look at the next thing. The next thing is that this white, the white background at the top shouldn't be there, right? If you look at this, the white this thing is in there. So how do we fix that? Okay, we have to give a specific height to the header. So the header, clicking on the container on the header, the minimum height, maybe we give it like a 60 pixel, or maybe make it 70 pixel, anyhow you want it. Maybe let's keep it at 70 pixel, right? And of course we are not going to add a background to it. It's actually transparent, even though it's showing a white background, so we are not going to add any background on it. Now what I'm going to simply do is click on the second container, which is the hero section, then go to advanced, open up the margin, then give it a -70 at the top. You see what happened? Of course it's going to cover it, right? But we can scroll down to Z index, make it 0. Now okay, it's not doing anything. So I think what we have to do is remove this first of all. Go to this container, make sure the Z index is set to a higher Z index, maybe 2, Z index 2, so that it will always be at the top. Then go back to this hero container again. Sometimes when you add a Z index here, it will be hard for you to select it from here. So now we have to open up our navigator. So here's our navigator. Here's the second container, which is the hero container. So here add -70 again. Where do we derive the 70? We derive the 70 from the height of the header. Remember the header, we gave it a height, minimum height of 70. So now on the second container, we simply like take it up the same height of our header, like -70, and now we have this. Okay, so this is what we have. All right, and this is it. Let me look at it one more time and look at this. Okay, so our image, remember our image, we made it our background image. So let me go back to it. Click on the container, go to style. So we made it cover, but looking at this, I think it's not really cover. So I think maybe they just set it to auto. Yeah, they set it to auto instead of cover. Yeah. Okay, so now it looks much like it, right? Looks much like it. Yeah. Okay, and maybe probably instead of using auto, you can still of course use custom, and then like space it out the way you want it, maybe 40 140% this way, like you do what you want to do, but for us not to double so much on it, I'm just going to for us not to waste more time on it, I'm just going to keep it at auto. Okay, then the layout is already done, and the next thing is the transparency of this email. So let's click on it. Then on the style, scroll down to the field. Okay, so the background color, remember we gave it a black, a solid black. So now we're going to make it transparent. So maybe bring it somewhere around here, and let's see what we have. Okay, it's kind of transparent, and maybe on the container maybe the container, the background overlay we gave it, maybe we have to reduce it a little bit more, give it something around around 0.4. then go to background, like this. Let me put this at default. On default, yeah, okay. Still there's not enough contrast, so I'm going to go back to the background overlay, take it back to that 0.5 again, because I want for there to be enough contrast. Okay, maybe 0.6. 0.6. Okay, so this is it. Is it then? Let's update our changes. And here we go, we just designed this, and of course we can take it the next step, which is making it mobile responsive. So let's see how we are going to make it mobile responsive. Now this is for people who are designing using development tools like Elementor, Bricks, Webflow. Yeah, you can still do it with, you can still make it mobile responsive with Figma, yes. Gutenberg, yeah, you can still make it mobile responsive with that. So let's see how we are going to make it mobile responsive. So here, things have to change. So clicking on this container here, that is the top one, the header container. Going to the advanced, I'm going to add a padding by the side, maybe 30, yeah, this way. Then the second container, do the same thing, go to the advanced, maybe 30, let's see, 30. Okay, then the padding on the form, we need to reduce it. Remember, we're using 24 pixel, so we need to reduce it to maybe 14%. Yeah, probably 16 and 16%. Okay, and also this the title here, we can reduce it, the font size of the headline, you can reduce it to maybe 42, yeah, 44. I think 42 is nice, or even 40. Well, I think 42. That's for the tablet. Okay, then we can go down to mobile landscape. So mobile landscape, on this mobile landscape, maybe this guy here, we simply remove any form of or maybe you can still add like 5%, or maybe 10%, percent. Yeah, still looks good. Then this guy here, clicking on the container, so the padding by the side, maybe make it 60 and 60. 60, 60, or probably 80, 80. No, now this is too much, so I think 60 and 60. Yeah, looks okay. Then we go to mobile. Now here things is going to definitely change here. So on the mobile, still clicking on the hero section, we have to remove this, maybe use like 16 pixel by the two side, or probably 20 pixel. Let's make it 20 pixel by the left and right. Okay, then padding at the top, maybe give it like an 80 or 100. I think let's make it 120. Yeah, 120 at the top, then 80 at the bottom. 80 at the bottom here, or probably 60. Yeah, just put it 60 at the bottom and 120 at the top. Okay, so now I'm clicking on this guy at the top here. Make sure by the side is 20, 20 as well for consistency. Remember here on the hero section we gave it 20 by the left and right, so the same thing here on this on the other one, 20 by the left and right. Okay, this is it. Maybe on mobile we may decide to reduce this guy here on mobile, so instead of 20 make it 18 or even 16, you know, or I think 18 would be good. And this is it. This is it. So we have this layout here. You know, I kind of did this, you know, use eye to gauge it. But let's look at what they have on their mobile here as well. Okay, so their mobile looks same thing as what we did, but a little bit different. So let me check and see the size they are using. So here they're using 32, okay, for the mobile. Okay, and this other guy here, they are using 18, okay, for the font. Then the second paragraph, they're using 18 for the font, okay, not the same thing. So can go back here. Make this, by the way, you know, like this layout still looks cool, still look perfect. If you know, having it this way is still nice. In fact, the heading is still big enough, bold enough, so it's still good this way. But you know, we can still drop it down to the 32, then drop this down to the 18, drop this down to 18, make this one 18 as well. Okay, it's already 18. Okay, so and now here we go, we have this, which is also cool. All right, so here this guy here, I think it's kind of reduced the font size as well. So let me click on it and see the new font size. So here, okay, this is 18 and 18, and let's actually see the padding. What padding do they have here? Oops, I'm not seeing the padding. Okay, let's see the padding. Okay, the padding 8 pixel, 16 pixel, and then the font size 18 pixel. So we can still reduce it. Here, clicking on the form, go to style, scroll down to the button. So on the button, so make this 18. Okay, then scroll down to the padding. So on the padding, maybe in this case make it at the top, maybe make it 8 and 8. Oops, I'll just put this back at 12. Okay, I think we're having a little bit of challenge with the settings we choose. At that time I choose the large. I think it have to be on medium. It have to be on medium, whereby this guy is also on medium. Okay, then simply use the padding to bring it up. So on the button, use the padding, maybe 14 pixel at the top, 14 pixel at the top. Okay, then let's see. Okay, looks cool here. Go to the content, buttons. So on the button, currently, of course, it occupies 100% on mobile, even though we gave it 40% on the desktop. So it actually occupies 100% here, but we can still maybe force it to be 40%, 60, maybe 80, yeah, force it to be 80, and then centered. Alright, and okay, centered. Make sure we remove this guy here. Okay, centered, but it's not centering. Why is it not centering? Let's look. Okay, why is it not center it? 80%, 100%. Okay, 100%, and then centered. Alright, so here's the correct setting. Column width, it should be 100%, and then you center it, and it will give you this. Maybe we can still have our this thing around it. Maybe make it I don't know, maybe use 8% by the left and right to kind of bring it closer, right? I think that's what they also did here. You see, bringing it closer. Maybe instead of 8, maybe use 6%, and this is it. Okay, so we just made it mobile responsive. You see, this is it, this is it, this is it, and this is it. Okay, so that's how you tackle this kind of layout. So we were able to design it. We were able to get it, perfectly design it under, I think, 1 hour time. Of course, it can be still done faster, just that I'm trying to explain things while I'm working on it, but we were able to achieve it. So I'm looking forward to you posting your own version of it. Yes, I'm looking forward, and I believe, I trust that you're going to get it right. So post it on the group, follow us. You can follow up on things because there are a lot of things, though we're starting out, but there are a lot of things that we're going to do. More tutorials are coming on our YouTube channel as well. I'm going to post our YouTube channel on the group. I'm going to post it today. Man, I'm still new to all this in terms of posting YouTube, this, that. But we're going to figure it out. Yes, we're definitely going to figure it out. And I'm very happy that you joined. I'm very happy. So let's see a way we can, like support each other, um, like guide each other in this whole thing. Yes, they say, if you want to go fast, you can go alone, right? But if you want to go very far, you go with friends, you go in a group, right? So, and that's what we're trying to do with the 90-day challenge. Yes, at the end of the 90 day, definitely you will be a wonderful, a very professional and expert designer, web designer. There's no two ways about it. So far you stick to this, you take your challenge, you do it, you look at it. If you didn't get it 100% right, you look at the corrections, you keep on at it. Like there's no two ways about it. You have to keep on, keep on keeping on, you know on the right direction. That's how you build capacity. That's how you become better. Practice, practice, practice. All right, thank you so much, and see you on the next one.